Okay. We're live. Part of the fun of doing this show is like, until it's actually on, you're like, is that on? Is that off?
Is it working?
Is that muted? We've got mics. Okay, let's do a show. So either way, welcome to NeoMix.Live.
I'm Tamara Neo.
Flux Neo. So this week it's kind of a hybrid here because we've got some new stuff, which I'll be covering. You've got your series. Is this the last part of your?
There's one more after this one.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, a lot to show.
So we've got the ongoing series concerning the travel trailer and the renovation.
Travel trailer transformation, part 4. We're doing Valances tonight.
Nonetheless, I'm actually very interested, and I'll give my little preface here. This whole project around Valances, I didn't really know what they were. I guess in theory I did, but I didn't really know what they were until Tamara got committed to them. What I heard about, though, was the endeavor to then get them put up.
Oh, it's just like everything. Like I said, out to the Arizona, 3 weeks, not enough time to get absolutely everything done. Begged the brother-in-law, begged the daughter, please put up the Valances to take some pictures. Could you please? I'll pay you if you'll put them up. I think that finally got a result.
3 months later?
Aw, it was awful.
3 months later they went up, but...
Looked really cute when they were done, though.
They did. So, on that, do you want to give kind of like a brief overview? And then you've got a great video for it.
There's not much to talk about. So, the travel trailer, again, is something that we purchased for our daughter to kind of settle her into Arizona. She lives with her uncle, but she needed her own little space. He already has now 4 children, so the house was full.
Very much so.
So we shopped and found this, really cute travel trailer, but there's a lot of browns and taupes and creams and that sort of thing. And
I don't know what peer group that... the funny thing is
It harkened back to the 80s even still.
But
even though it was a 2012. Oh, yeah.
That's the thing that's surreal is like travel trailers... I think they basically got stuck in the 70s as far as the colors and...
Well, I think there was enough... What's the color? Dusty rose or whatever in this one that it made it into the 80s. There was no orange. There was no burnt orange or avocado green. So this was definitely the style of the 80s, although it was a 2012 trailer, so it wasn't an old trailer.
That's the whole point is it's like, wait.
30 years
we're talking about like 30, 35, 40-year-old color schemes in a, 8-year-old, I guess now 9-year-old trailer. So how is it that an entire industry said, no, there is something
80s,
special.
It was the pinnacle. The pinnacle of design, the pinnacle of music, the pinnacle of humans. It was just the pinnacle. Everything else is an afterthought.
I would love to go to like a travel trailer convention and just see these guys roll out in their like wide ties. Is their whole style basically just like committed to the 80s and late 70s?
Well, you won't anymore. You can't find those kinds of colors anymore. Now every trailer is blacks and grays and whites. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, at least we'll call that progress. So they moved to the 90s at least.
Yes.
Because that's very much 90s, the silvers, the blacks, the grays. It's very kind of 90s New York edgy colors.
There's some really beautiful ones, though. I mean, I gotta say, I saw this sort of farmhouse whitewashed cabinet look that I just thought was adorable and really contemplated it. And had the wood in this one not been so beautiful, I might have tried it because it was really pretty.
Well, nonetheless, I think it's a fun video, and the job that was done was impeccable.
Yes, a valance. For those of you who don't know, a valance is the sort of structured thing, for lack of a better word, that goes above and around a window. You can hang curtains behind it. You can hang blinds behind it.
It's purely decorative.
Yes, it is decorative, and typically, although it can also be considered what's hiding the sort of the frame of blinds and that sort of thing.
Sure.
It's usually not. It's usually structured. They're wood or they're some sort of hard substance that then is covered. And that's what these were. These were wood and some sort of hard substance, which I had no access to because it was already covered.
This is the interesting part, and it actually is kind of making some sense. Think about it. Travel trailer. What do? They swish about. So maybe the valances are there to keep the
blinds
from sloshing all over the place. There might be some practical utility.
Yeah, I bet you actually that's probably correct.
Yeah, but either way. So the video.
Yep.
Just get to it?
Let's just get to it. So it was an adventure to redo it into blacks and whites and buffalo check and pops of cherry.
Pops of cherry.
Pops of cherry.
That was a whole theme at the end of the day, wasn't it?
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay.
like it.
Yeah, and
I think it came out very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Very, very cute.
So for a 16-year-old girl, spoiled in my opinion.
Well, she helped design a lot of that. I mean, she was right in there picking things and fabrics. The only thing that I had the absolute say on was the dingle bobs.
Oh, that was your call.
I didn't know if they'd work or not. That's what, design and all that is sometimes. It's just saying, well, this is interesting. It could blend, could look awful, could look amazing. And in the end, we put it up, and I think we were both surprised how cute the little dingle bobs looked.
For me, the dingle bobs, given that I grew up in a Mexican household and
he wants an El Camino at some point before he dies, the dingle bobs along the headliner.
The dingle bobs in your car is basically like a rite of passage. And the important thing is that you're old school, because at least in Tucson, so they'll start out on red at this side, but where the sun bakes it, they basically turn orangey hues of rust. And then they start to basically deteriorate on one side where the sun has basically savaged the dingle bob. But regardless.
We'll have to see how those hold up, actually, now that you mentioned that.
You'll watch and see. You'll go back out there and they'll be bleached out. The sun does amazing things out there.
I hope not. Actually, they were pretty easy to add in. So it was a lot. Now, I'm sure that there are professional upholsterers who are looking at
just
that
horrified.
Cringing. I don't care. I needed to do it. I needed to do it on my budget, and I think it looks cute. So that's what that video is how to do it on your own. And some of the techniques aren't that far off from what an actual upholsterer would do. They'd probably just look better on the back sides.
Well, or at a minimum, though, I think the one nice thing is that it's clear you want to update it. You don't have to peel it off even. Just put some new material over and staple that on. So it seems like it's ripe for being able to refresh the whole atmosphere as need be. So
yeah.
Something
else I learned is that I need to be able to get my camera to focus better. I'm amazed how many of my still shots that seemed fine to me when I was taking them. I look at them now and I'm going, that's nowhere near focused. But it's what I had to work with.
Yeah. Well, at a minimum, I think a lot of it, that it's clear that it's striking. It went from horrifying to...
It wasn't horrifying, but it was... to her it was.
Yeah, I was going to say, sitting there, you're like, this is what my life's come to. But when you get the refreshed version, it's like, no, this is actually kind of cool. It's inspirational. I think, again, we're talking about a 16-year-old girl who's in that space, first real taste of kind of independence, if you will. And to have a space that you can be proud of, that you can go home to and is comfortable, and ideally from her standpoint kind of sets a tone as to what her expectations can be for herself
and
also
life,
what
to accept,
what she should I guess hold out as her personal standards, if you will. So
what do you think of the music choice?
I like the music. I like the music. Yes, very fun.
Late 70s, early 80s groove.
Very fun.